Marlins make the Florida Lottery call to the bullpen. And Richard Bleier on to pitch.
So Bleier retires the first two he faces, then McNeil hits a single. Runners on base for the first time for Bleier tonight.
2 out and a runner at first with the Mets down by 3. So if you pitcher a pitcher, how do you...
And a balk. Okay.
So we can see right away it's being communicated that Bleier didn't come set. He does the wave off because he disagrees. Remember, Bleier was also ejected in this sequence.
This one got him.
Check swing hit by pitch. Bleier wants the check. The umpire says there was no swing. Bleier reacts like this.
But Davey Martinez much more concerned about the health of that.
There's Richard Bleier. He's still talking to the umpires out there, and he's just got run. Pretty easy call for the first base umpire there.
Gee, I wonder what Bleier might have done to get tossed. Let's go back to this one.
I think that was a balk right there. Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, he's arguing pretty good, but he didn't come full set.
Let's do a quick rules review of 602-813. If there's a runner or runners, it's a balk when the pitcher delivers the ball from set position without coming to a stop. The hands are the most notable part, of course, and it looks like this is a roll through rather than a complete stop. That's what the Marlins broadcast referred to. This is the closest camera angle we have to the first base angle, but you see that the glove opens up to the first base umpire. You can see it best from that position, and that's why the first base umpire is the one who makes this call.
The righty or Vogel back against the lefty. That one pours in for a strike, and it's 2.
Like that. That's a tough pitch to catch.
And now another balk. Oh, boy.
You can hear the umpire say, you gotta come set. That's what this rule is. That's what this balk is.
You have to come set for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a balk.
2 in the course of 1 at bat. You are not allowed to argue a balk. It's automatic ejection.
I'm asked, does this need to be called on? Yeah, it's in the rule book, so it's kind of supposed to be. I'm not the biggest fan of slow-mo because it might look like there's a stop when there isn't, but as you can clearly see, there's constant movement, subtle as it might be, with the hand. There is no discernible stop.
How much do you want to bet that he holds it for like 5 seconds this next pitch? Stop.
Quite stop long enough for that requisite 1001.
I thought it was not 3-0 or am I off?
Remember, balk calls are no pitches, so none of them count. This pitch is not called a balk, so this is kind of valuable to look at. The pitcher brings the hands together, and you could say that he tried a little bit harder to stop this time, and that's where you run into that, does it need to be called? Can I not call it this time? Because it's disrupting the flow of the game, and then you let one go, and he might have balked this time, but you let it go, and now everyone's confused, and that leads to further frustration. Call the balk every time, and the game is super boring. What do? The rule wants you to call it.
Yeah, that's a strike. He thought it was low. And he called another balk.
He did it again. He did it again.
Let's take another look, and yeah, it's kind of another roll through. This reminds me of Jeff Nelson and Kevin Gausman on the Blue Jays in Baltimore earlier this year.
And the ball popped out of his glove. So here's Santander, who homered his first time. And now Kevin Gausman is having to be restrained. Jeff Nelson, I believe, just called a balk.
Umpire said, hey, give me a stop. Give me a little bit more of a stop.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. The Gausman play was the first pitch with runners aboard, so the first opportunity it was called. Similar to the Bleier play, first time a base runner got on base, that's when it was called, like right away. So clearly there has been something from above telling the umpires to call this no-stop balk.
Donnie is losing it. And he just got thrown out of the game. And
home plate umpire Ryan Blakey threw him out. You're not allowed to argue a balk, but Donnie had seen enough.
Comes the first base umpire, John Tumpane, who made all 3 of those balk calls.
Yeah, get your money's worth right here.
The umpire's already called it once, then he called it twice. You have to do something different. Make a difference. You got to change something. I understand his argument, but he has to change it.
Hudson trying to defuse the situation, but Donnie is hot. He's about as hot as we've seen him all year.
You can understand why Donnie, in his last week of managing the Marlins, is going to get his money's worth here.
There's a lot of pent-up emotion. He's out there protecting his players.
That sure was fun. Let's see how this inning ends.
I don't blame him here.
And a bouncer to Luke Williams. So isn't that something? After balking, and now he's been thrown out of the game. And Bleier's got words for the home plate umpire now as well. We're going to step aside, and if anything else happens, we'll tidy that up for you when we come back.
Bottom line, if there's a rules infraction, address it. There used to be an NC2A basketball saying, call the foul, the players will adjust. That's supposed to happen. Call the balk, the player is supposed to adjust even at the professional level.